The new Korean meta has me concerned, but not as concerned as those of you who have not gotten your Gameleap membership yet. I mean, I couldn't imagine missing out on all this excellent educational content. I mean, look at all these guides, all from top level coaches, and at such a low price, it's honestly a steal. We have hundreds of educational guides on different heroes, different roles, and all kinds of fundamentals of Overwatch that you just will not get the same level of education from anywhere else. So be sure to come check out our website at Gameleap.com or follow the link in the description down below to get your membership today and be prepped and ready for the upcoming metas. But anyway, if you've seen the meta video I made recently on this channel, which involved talking about the Monkey, Kiriko, Reaper, Lucio, and Sojourn comp that we saw being played in Overwatch League in the postseason recently, then you may be surprised to find out that there's already a new meta being made. In Contenders Korea, two teams, SPG and SLT, played against each other, and in their matches, they were actually running Roadhog. Not only were they running Roadhog, but they also ran Ana on a lot of maps. The last time that we had a Roadhog meta was actually ages ago. It was during Pull Hook meta. In fact, I believe that was at the very beginning of Roll Q, where you would run the old Orisa, whose right click would suck enemies into a ball, kind of like Graviton Surge for Zarya's ult, I mean. And what you would do is you would throw that Orisa ult out there, suck the enemies up into a ball above a shield or just in general to make it easy for your Roadhog to land the hook and then pull them in and kill them. This was a meta that a lot of people hated. Roadhog is not exactly a fun hero to play against. People really don't like his pull mechanic and getting one shot, so being in a hog meta is something that a lot of people fear, myself included. It's also especially troubling for the ranks below Diamond, and I've seen people complain about Roadhog because he is actually pretty hard to kill without a concerted team effort. So it can end up being extremely easy for a Roadhog to start running the game at these low ranks due to the simple fact that teams don't have the focus fire to deal with him, and a lot of teams just will let him do whatever he wants. For most of the maps, we still saw Reaper comps, Reaper Lucio comps. If they didn't run the Reaper Lucio, they would be running something like Ana and Widowmaker on maps that had a very far sightline, such as Junkertown. And it's also interesting to note that one of the teams still opted to run the Roadhog on these maps with those long sightlines, while the other one opted to run more Sigma, which isn't exactly too surprising because back in Overwatch League, on Circuit Royale in particular, there were teams that ran Sigma and Widow for the long sightline and the shield power that Sigma provides to protect the Widow and let her just sort of farm from the backline where nobody can actually get to her. But I definitely did not expect to see Roadhog coming into meta. And there's already quite a few people who are very, very distressed about this. Boger on Twitter, who is a top 500 tank streamer, one of the better tank streamers out there at the moment, tweeted out, "Roadhog is going to be meta after the next patch," captioned over a picture where, "I apologize, weebs, I don't know where it comes from, but it is an anime dude who is very, very distraught." Another notable figure, Frogger, responded and said, "I love being one-shot. It's so fun. I learn a lot from being one-shot." And that's also captioned over the SpongeBob screaming meme. So ultimately, between Sojourn being meta and Widow being meta and Roadhog being meta, we're really starting to see a seriously problematic meta coming forward. And the honest problem is that this one will trickle down to a lot of different ranks. Because on one hand, a character like Widowmaker or Sojourn is something that's only going to be felt really tough at the high ranks, unless there's a Smurf in a game at, Plat or whatever, that's just a GM Widowmaker who's just going and trolling. But for the most part, you're not going to find a Widowmaker or a Sojourn who is just locking your team in spawn and not giving you any real kind of counterplay at these lower ranks because the mechanics are simply not there. And I am reminded of this very often when I complain about Widowmaker and people say, "Oh, she's not that bad in gold because no one can hit a shot." It's like, well, that's great, but I'm on stream getting spawn camped right now, so could you maybe have a little bit of empathy for me? But with Roadhog, on the other hand, that is a character that is a problem at lower ranks because he also can one-shot, but he also has 700 HP and doesn't really have to aim as much as a Widow or Sojourn does. And unlike Sojourn and Widowmaker, who are only a problem at one rank, Roadhog is also a problem at a high rank because he is still just as powerful. Yes, you can focus him, and yes, he has more punishment at a higher rank. But the things that make him powerful at low ranks still keep him powerful at those high ranks. You just have to be more cautious of your positioning and be more aware of damage intake, but that honestly applies to literally every character and especially tanks. I honestly think that all of this combined is really shaping up to be a problem for the future of Overwatch, especially because this balance patch for the previous heroes that were problematic, it took so long to get out. Now, to the devs' credit, they did say that the November 15th patch is coming out later than they wanted. They meant to bring it out sooner, and they also promised that future balance patches would come much more consistently and much more quickly. But the fact that it's the first balance patch of the game is a bit of a spooky indicator for me for it to already be late, because back in Overwatch 1 in the olden days, they also promised us consistent content, and we all know how that went come like 2019, 2020. I mean, even with the 3 heroes that they released for Overwatch 2, that's still significantly less than if they had been releasing a hero every season like they originally had planned to. All this to say that I am cautiously optimistic about them actually releasing patches that do help the health of the game and the balance of the game, and I don't think that we'll be in a one-shot meta for very long, because Overwatch 2 has been so much more fun for me than Overwatch 1 was, despite some complaints from the old vets. I have faith in the development team right now. I just can't be blinded by the mistreatment of the fan base from Overwatch 1 coming over, so fingers crossed that we do get some good changes moving forward. The other thing to keep in mind is that Ramatra is coming out on December 6th when they release the Season 2 patch, and we honestly have no idea how he might change the meta. I mean, for all we know, he could be a hard Widowmaker counter, and suddenly, she's not meta anymore. In other news, there is another thing that we gotta talk about. As of right now, there's actually no good way to see your exact rank after each match, so check this out. This is something that's been found pretty recently by Overwatch players. You can actually have a way to see your SR change for every single match, instead of the current system, which is, win 7 games or lose 20, and then you get a rank adjustment that's like kind of a vague range but not an exact number. And it's actually outlined pretty easily in this Reddit post. Basically, what you end up doing is going to request your data for your battle.net account and your game data. They will email you a zip file where you can unzip the document you need, and you can press Control F to find your player ranked role data. And interestingly enough, this will actually display your exact SR number, not like your just hidden rank, not just Diamond 3, but literally the exact number that correlates with your rank. A lot of people have been doing this lately, especially on Twitter, and they've been finding some very interesting results. So if you're looking to figure out what your exact rank is, just follow the tutorial, go request your data from the website, and then go and unzip the folder, and you can actually see literally exactly where you are. Now, knowing Blizzard, of course, this is unintentional or just something that they are going to find a way to patch out. I'd imagine because it's in the form of a player data request packet that maybe there might be some things they have to do in order to clear things up and make sure that they're allowed to remove it, but I don't really expect it'll take them all that long to fix this, so take advantage of it while you can. Go and see exactly where your ranked data is and see, where you are on the ranked ladder. And this can probably also prove or disprove the theory I went over in the 21 wins led to a D-rank video that I made on this channel not too long ago, where I pretty much theorized that they might not actually show you what your true skill rating is, and as far as your rank up games go. In any case, I thought this was a very interesting piece of information and certainly something that you should know and maybe take a look at. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more free educational and news content. I will see you all again soon. I'm Highway. Take care and peace.